pace of Tate Taylor. What a talent he is, and he's in fine form. 19.94 2 weeks ago here on this track. They go away well. He leads at the moment. Certainly some running to be done there in lane 7. Going best of all is Lavelle. And look at this from Tate Taylor. Wow, he is thrashing this field. That's a 2-meter winning margin. 19.75. That is another massive personal best for the youngster.
I still can't believe what we just witnessed. At this year's Prefontaine Classic, the track was packed with world record holders, Olympic champions, and many of the fastest sprinters on the planet. Yet the biggest headline didn't come from a seasoned superstar, it came from an 18-year-old high school athlete. Meet Tate Taylor. What he produced in the men's 200 meters was nothing short of extraordinary. Exploding out of the blocks, Taylor blasted through the opening 100 meters in a stunning 10.21 seconds, setting the stage for something nobody saw coming. Before this race, few people expected a high school athlete to steal the spotlight from an elite professional field. But within seconds, Taylor completely changed the conversation. By the time he entered the home straight, it was already becoming clear that history was unfolding. What happened next was even more unbelievable. Taylor completely separated himself from the field over the final 100 meters and crossed the finish line in an astonishing 19.75 seconds. He didn't just win, he dominated one of the strongest 200-meter fields assembled this season. With only Noah Lyles absent, this lineup featured many of the world's elite. Taylor defeated Letsile Tebogo, who finished second in 19.93 after entering the race as the reigning Olympic champion and one of the year's top performers. The crowd inside Hayward Field immediately realized they had witnessed something historic. As the finish wasn't just fast, it completely reshaped expectations for what a high school sprinter could accomplish against the very best in the world. The gap was remarkable. Taylor finished nearly 0.2 of a second ahead of Tebogo. While they were the only two athletes to break the 20-second barrier, behind them, the remaining contenders finished in 20.11, 20.19, and 20.20, highlighting just how dominant Taylor's performance truly was. Even more impressive, his 19.75 established a new U.S. high school national record, lowering the previous mark by almost 0.2 of a second. Breaking any national record is difficult, but improving it by such a large margin is incredibly rare in sprinting. Where progress is usually measured in hundredths of a second, Taylor's 2026 outdoor season has been nothing short of sensational. Race after race, he has continued rewriting expectations for high school sprinting. He opened the season by clocking 20.05, breaking the previous national high school record once held by Noah Lyles. Soon after, running under 20 seconds became almost routine. He followed with a 19.97 at the Lone Star Grand Prix, then a 19.94 at the U.S. Under-20 Championships. But this latest 19.75 has elevated the conversation to an entirely different level. Instead of asking whether he can break records, people are now asking just how low he can eventually go before finishing high school. The performance becomes even more remarkable when you consider the conditions. Taylor achieved his 19.75 while facing a negative 0.9 meters per second headwind. That's far from ideal for sprinting and represents a meaningful disadvantage over 200 meters. While wind adjustment models aren't perfect and should always be viewed as estimates, they help reveal just how exceptional this race really was. Headwinds reduce sprint velocity by forcing athletes to overcome greater air resistance, making every hundredth of a second significantly harder to achieve, based on standard wind adjustment calculations. Taylor's performance converts to approximately 19.66 seconds in neutral wind conditions. For an 18-year-old high school athlete who hadn't broken 20 seconds before this season, that's an astonishing projection. Taking it one step further, the exact same race had been run with the maximum legal tailwind of plus 2.0 meters per second. Projections place him around 19.52, matching the Prefontaine Classic record set by Noah Lyles in 2021. While these projections aren't official times, they offer a valuable perspective on just how much the weather worked against him rather than in his favor. But there's another detail that deserves far more attention. Taylor produced this historic run from lane 3, position where elite times are rarely recorded because of the tighter curve. Running 19.75 from that lane places his performance among the fastest ever achieved from that starting position. His race distribution was just as impressive. After opening in 10.21 seconds, he closed the final 100 meters in a blistering 9.54, showcasing world-class endurance and top-end speed that are almost unheard of for a high school sprinter. Maintaining that level of velocity through the curve and into the final straight demonstrates exceptional sprint mechanics and remarkable efficiency. The race data tells an even more fascinating story. Early on, Brian Lavelle attacked the curve aggressively and briefly held the advantage. But around the 90-meter mark, Taylor surged forward with unmatched acceleration. Between 100 and 120 meters, he seized complete control of the race, and from there nobody could respond. His mechanics stayed remarkably smooth as he continued pulling away, maintaining superior speed over the final stretch, while the rest of the field struggled to keep pace. Unlike many young sprinters who tighten up near the finish, Taylor stayed relaxed, allowing him to maximize every stride during the most demanding part of the race. Perhaps the most exciting part is what this performance says about Taylor's overall potential. Combining his personal bests of 9.92 in the 100 meters and 19.75 in the 200 gives him a sprint total of 29.67 seconds, an extraordinary benchmark for any athlete, let alone a high schooler. Before this race, many expected the Olympic champion to control the event. Instead, Tate Taylor announced himself as one of the greatest high school sprinters the sport has ever seen. With major international junior competitions still ahead, he now has another opportunity to prove this performance was no fluke. If he continues progressing at this pace, the world may soon stop calling him the fastest high school athlete and start calling him one of the fastest sprinters on the planet, regardless of age. If you enjoyed this video and want more incredible track and field stories, be sure to subscribe and never miss the next big moment.